Hello, I'm Emily Barker with this month's CPSU News Update. Swift action by the CPSU has halted a brazen bid to bring large-scale casual labour into Centrelink. Centrelink had proposed creating 1,200 casual positions where workers would be placed on a register and texted on the day if they were needed for work. The CPSU lobbied government and the department to get the decision reversed. The casual push is a sign of things to come should the coalition take power in September, with the ACTU launching ads to highlight the impact of increased casualisation.
More and more, the demands of business are eating away at the basic rights unions have won for all of us. That's why unions are standing up for a better life for all workers and their families.
Grassroots activity across the nation is building as the CPSU ramps up its Cuts Hurt campaign, warning of the impact of an Abbott government. The opposition has said a minimum of 12,000 jobs will go, but there are fears the cuts could end up being nearly double that. Joining me to discuss the campaign is CPSU National Secretary Nadine Flood. Nadine, thank you for joining us. Firstly, how big are the cuts likely to be?
Well, it's difficult because the Liberals aren't providing much detail on their plans. So they have said they'll cut 12,000 jobs, but they've also said that's just for starters. And what we've seen with state Liberal governments is much bigger, deeper cuts. And the coalition has said they will cut $50 to $70 billion of government spending. So that equates to tens of thousands of jobs going.
And where will these cuts likely to fall?
Well, they have identified some targets like the Federal Health and Education Department, and that's a real concern. They've also said they'll sell off Medibank Private. But what we're seeing around the country is Liberal governments also outsource government services, and the big winners out of that are private companies like Serco and G4S, but the big losers are communities and the jobs.
And what are you hearing now from your members?
Well, people are really worried about the impact both on themselves and their families, but also the communities they serve. I mean, these are real people, they've got mortgages, they've got bills to pay. And if you look at somewhere like Geelong, which has got a big Centrelink call centre, you know, they've been hit with a lot of job losses with Target, with Ford, with others. They're worried about what happens if Human Services pulls out of town.
And how will the CPSU now respond to this?
Well, we've been pushing pretty hard with our members to get the message out in communities about the risks to services and jobs under an Abbott government. You know, we've been out there online, we've been doing a lot of things around this, and of course we've got the state public sector unions who are out there campaigning alongside us more closely than ever before, and that's great. But it's a big job.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
And of course, if you'd like more information, you can go to the Cuts Hurt website. Finally, Tony Abbott has been accused of going troppo, confirming plans to forcibly move public servants to Northern Australia. The opposition has confirmed it would relocate workers to Karratha, Darwin, Cairns and Townsville if it were elected, with those who refuse to move facing the sack. We here at the CPSU reckon it's a rerun of the Hitchcock classic North by Northwest, but there are concerns that the way things are going, psycho could be a more apt moniker. Well, that's all for this month. For all your union news, please go to the CPSU website.